Are you in behind the bars 40 years?
Yes, or
Okay.
yeah. It costs about $120,000 a year
Oh,
to house a prisoner year after year. So if you do the math and you figure how much money we save the government,
yes.
it's huge, and we're not asking for all of that.
Mhm.
And it's an ongoing challenge to convince the government that it would be a very good investment for them.
So when he got out and got his first real paycheck, he was so excited because it was the first time in his life he had made
Legitimate money, exactly.
one of the biggest needs out there is housing. Housing provides stability for people.
Oh, yes,
And
right.
at Future Hope, we do have some homes and places for people to reside, and they can come to us. It's transitional living, and Mike's living with us in that capacity. And it's kind of the next step in quotations of, you come from where you're living in corrections in the halfway house, you come and live with us in transitional living, and then you stay with us for a year or two, and then we help you find that next step, which could be, your own apartment or whatever that may be.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another epic episode of On Air with Priyanka. I am your host Priyanka. So today we have a truly inspiring episode as we sit down with a Future Hope team. By the way, do you know what is Future Hope team? A Future Hope team is a non-profit organization which is based in Winnipeg, Canada. Yes, and you know what? These Future Hope teams help every individual who to rebuild their life after coming out of prison. Yes, you heard it right. After coming out of prison. Isn't it that a motivational or inspiring episode? Yes, truly it is. So grab your coffee and enjoy this episode with the Future Hope team. But before that, let's welcome them. On Air with Priyanka. Hi, Future Hope team.
Hello.
And welcome to the On Air with Priyanka show.
Thank you.
So, how are you guys?
Good today. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
So, first of all, a very congratulations because you guys are doing an amazing job to help individual to build their life after coming out of prison. Before we kickstart this podcast, could you please introduce and share your role with the Future Hope team for me and for my viewers?
Hi there, Priyanka. Thank you for having us today. My name is Kim, and my role at Future Hope is called the Next Step Coordinator.
Okay.
And so I work with the fellows as they are reintegrating into community and help them with so many different things, but we can talk a little bit more about that later. But that's
Yes.
my role.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing team.
Thank you.
And
My name's Mike,
okay.
and I'm one of the gentlemen that's reintegrating into society.
Oh.
And they've been involved with Next Up for going on 14, 15 years. So, yeah.
Wow. And how would you feel after 14, 15 years?
Well, I've been out that long, but, because it's also a prison-based group. And with Sister Carol starting it and then Kim taking over the role, I've been meeting with them a lot, and it's helped me tremendously. It's keep me focused, but you have to give it 100%, and that's what most programs you have to do.
Yes.
And it helps you with situations outside
Yeah.
when you are released.
Yeah.
We have a weekly group that probably 40, 50 people attend. And we talk about the highs, the lows, our frustrations. That's what we need, because one thing we've learned in jail is to bottle everything up.
Oh, yeah.
But next step,
Absolutely.
it helps
And
us get everything
trauma
over.
as well, right? Because we never knew what they went through in the jail behind the bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of frustrations out here from when guys do a lengthy prison sentence, and they get out and they need somewhere to go to focus, on the positive, to meet new people, meet excellent people, and that's what Next Step's given me, and I love it.
Yeah. Nice. He's awesome.
I can see that. Yes,
Doing
definitely.
amazing. Yeah.
No, but thank you so much. And Luis.
Yes, my name is Louis Balkan. I've been involved in prison ministry for about 21 years. and the last 10 years with Future Hope. I joined the board of Future Hope. And I think that what I learned along the way was that probably the best way that I could contribute would be in the accompaniment of the guys when they left the prison. In Future Hope, that changed somewhat, and I've been involved more in fundraising, for instance. So that's my ongoing contribution, probably. I'm going to be 84 years young next week.
You are looking quite young.
Well, I'm totally blessed with good health, and you know, it's the key, isn't it, to life, to be healthy, and
Yes, knock on
it
wood.
allows me to do some volunteering, which is very rewarding, as we know, when we can help somebody else. And yeah, it's a win-win, I think.
No, but really commendable. At this age, you are doing a voluntary work for our community. So I know, like some people, they just live this life with the family and just roam around the world. But you are doing something great thing for our community, for our people, and that's really a good thing.
You know, I've received a lot, and I have to give back.
Yes, a gratitude.
Yes.
A gratitude. That's really nice. Okay, so let's kickstart this podcast, this inspiring episode. So the question is for the Future Hope team. So what is the mission and vision behind the Future Hope?
Well, so I guess I'll just kind of back up a little bit. So we were begun about 24 years ago with a wonderful, beautiful woman by the name of Sister Carol Peliquin. And she was a chaplain at Stony Mountain Institution, which is the prison in Manitoba here, for those that are listening that are not from Manitoba. And she was a chaplain there, and she met many men who were leaving the institution and wanted to do well. And they were on a great path. They were set forward, doing good. And then some time would go by and she would find them back at the prison. And she soon learned that people lacked supports and resources in the community. And so she decided that she would leave the chaplaincy and she would begin this Next Step Future Hope program in the community. And she thought that it was more important for her specifically to work with the guys as they were coming into community and to help them reintegrate and find community and belonging and build some relationships. And her hope, her hope came true, was that this would enable people to stay out of prison.
Yes.
And so that was her hope and her dream. And so that's what happened. And we've been ongoing ever since for those 24 years. And very specifically, I mean, the mission is that when people feel belonging and when people feel connected and when people feel like they have relationships, people will do better. When they have support around, say, addiction issues, housing, employment, getting their identification, anything they might need, if they have supports and people they can count on, their success rate is just so much higher.
Absolutely.
And so we just continue to do that in her honor today.
Everyone needs a proper guidance because, of course, there's a lot of things happen behind the jails, like a mental trauma, and we don't understand what exactly happening with us, right? The irritation comes from there. So after proper guidance, but I can say you are doing a great thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what we found is that men who, specifically in Winnipeg, if they haven't been from Winnipeg, they don't know the community, maybe they don't have positive supports in the community, or maybe they've, as Mike mentioned, maybe they've been incarcerated for a really long time. Those are men that we find search us out, and that we're that's the criteria on which we base our programming for those men. And that's, it's a really great relationship that we've built to support them. So,
wow. That's really nice. Wow, this is a very great, I can say, mission and vision for the Future Hope team. So, of course, when you guys are doing this work, it's not easy, like challenges on your way, right? people sometimes question you, and as I see, it's a non-profit organization. So sometimes people question you, challenges. Did you face any challenges in this?
Well, I guess I can speak about the challenge of financing because we get no help from the government.
Yeah.
All the money that we need to operate is raised from volunteers, from organizations as well, who feel that they're able to contribute or and I must say that there are so many good causes in the world that need help. There's many of them, and some of them are related to women or to children.
Yes.
And it's more of a challenge to raise money for ex-offenders
Yep.
because the attitude of the public who don't really bother to find out more about the prison, the reasons why people go to prison.
Right.
They make very quick judgments. Getting back to the lack of government support, it costs about $120,000 a year to house a prisoner year after year. The recidivism of the national average is about 35%. In other words, people who go back because they came out and then they committed another infraction and they're sent back. The people who go through our program are probably more like 5%, Kim tells me.
Yeah.
So if you do the math and you figure how much money we save the government,
Yes.
it's huge, and we're not asking for all of that. And it's an ongoing challenge to convince the government that it would be a very good investment for them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be an expense; it would be a saving if they help us, to continue the work. So we have events. We had one last week, and we have an upcoming one in early September, which is a market for crafts and
Art.
help me out,
Art,
yeah,
yeah.
that sort of thing. And then at the end of November, we will have a fundraising dinner.
Oh, wow.
And
October.
October.
Sorry,
Yeah, at the end of
It
October.
will be the Thanksgiving, right?
October 25th. We're
25th,
doing. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So these are some of the activities, that we put on, and it's been, if I may. You may have to stop me when I start talking, but I was really happy in the last year, and because some of the people who've been volunteering for a few years now have decided to come on the board because we needed to refresh the board with younger people, and that's been really heartening to me. To see that, and these are young professionals
Oh, yeah.
who take time, out of their lives
Yeah.
to join the cause, and they have a place in their heart for this kind of mission, you might say, because but they do want to volunteer, and they chose Future Hope, and it made me very happy because guys my age are going to have to be replaced.
With as much energy as you have, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, if I could answer that too.
Absolutely.
And from a human resource side, there's only a few of us, myself and a couple staff and volunteers who are working with the men that we're supporting. And the need is so great because there's so many people who would like to be getting that support to be on the right path. And there are many people who are being released to Winnipeg who maybe it is not their home community. And so they're looking for the supports. And so some of the challenges for us is to balance out that time and energy and, human resources. And obviously, as Louis mentioned, the financial resources in order to support as many people as we would like to. Yeah. And we firmly believe that people do better in community than being incarcerated. And even when people are reintegrating, if they're struggling or needing extra supports, we feel that there's ways to support people well in community rather than reincarcerating people. There's so much dignity in being in community. We're talking about human beings who are exactly like me and you. And so there's so much more dignity in being in community than being in incarceration. And anytime we're sending people back to being in prison, we're having them step backwards into things that can just be way more difficult. And if we can keep supporting people in community, they will continue to do well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really great. And you know what? These peoples are like as you said, our friends, our relatives, our neighbors.
Yeah.
It could be
All of
anyone,
our community.
all of our community.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So-
Mike can speak a little more to that as
Oh
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
About getting out. Yeah, see, people have to realize that most of the people that are incarcerated are going to get the chance to get out of jail. It's under Canada law. That's, you know what I mean? If you do what you're supposed to do, you know, do your program, it's called a correctional plan.
Yeah.
Follow your correctional plan. Work with your CMP, which is a case management team. You know, work with them. You know what I mean? Don't fight them all the way.
No.
You know, that's important.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and there's groups, but when you come out now, if you don't have a supportive family, which most inmates don't have a supportive family out here, whether it's dysfunctional or whatever the case may be, you know, and that's why programs, whether it be Next Step, Future Hope, AA, NA, you know, utilize them all. That's what they're there for.
Exactly.
You know, like I personally attend AA twice a week.
Oh, nice.
I go to Next Step Wednesdays. I go to pizza nights Fridays. You know, and I haven't taken on necessarily a volunteer role, but sometimes I'll pick up the guys and make sure they get the group and make sure they get to where they need to go. And they know they can call on me.
Yes.
You know, and
Wonderful mentor.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to be, right?
Yeah.
And the Sister Carol instilled that in me a long time ago. When I started first going on passes and going to Next Step, it was on Ross Street, and there were 6 of us. 6 people in the meeting.
Oh.
Now there's 40 to 50 every Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, and
Good numbers here.
yeah,
Huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
And guys take it seriously, you know, and like I said, it's a place where you get to open up and you get to, you know, talk about, you know, that's one of the, we do something usually different every week for the first hour. The second hour is used for sharing
Yeah.
your highs and your lows of the week. You know, how'd it go? How's it going? Are you working? Are you, you know, you're looking for a job, you know, and a lot of people are looking for work, you know what I mean? And sometimes there's a struggle, but you get to get the stuff off your chest.
Yeah.
And people have to realize that's
That's a main
very
struggle.
important.
Exactly.
Yeah, because when you bottle things up,
Yes.
you know, then you feel shame, you feel guilt,
Oh, yeah.
you feel everything. But when you talk about it and you know you're doing your utmost best to correct those behaviors
Yeah.
and utilize what's available to you,
Yeah.
I'm always smiling, right? I'm always in a good mood. Right now, I have a
Yes.
job. You know what I mean? You know, I'm involved in Next Step, AA, a bunch of good people, and I surround myself with pro-social people, and that's important too.
Yes, that's
Stay away from
definitely
the old
true.
hearts.
Yes, that's definitely true. And my next question is linked to this question. As we just spoke about the challenges, the next question is mine. Like, what are some of the key services and program your team, a Future Hope team, provide and support individual after coming out of prison?
Yeah, thank you. So one of the things we think is most important is that we build relationships with people. And so the work that we're doing starts while the men are still incarcerated. And so one of the things that we do is we have a bi-weekly group in Stony Mountain called Next Step, and it's mirrored after the group that we have in the community. And so we do that in Stony Mountain, and we get to know the guys before they get released. And so we spend sometimes 6 months, a year, 2, 3 years getting to know them before they join the community. And so we do that. We visit with them one-on-one as well in Stony Mountain. And again, it's very much to build relationship. And so then when the person is released, most of the men that we support are released on something called day parole. And so they will be released to a halfway house. And so we now begin our work with them in community. But we know them. We've gotten to know who they are. We've felt comfortable. They feel comfortable with us. And so that whole idea that when you get out and life is overwhelming, which it is, because when you've lived in an institution, life is very routine. Things happen every day the same. And people can become very institutionalized. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a reality. And so when they get out, they do need these supports to not be overwhelmed by taking a bus, going to a restaurant, going to a grocery store, finding their identification.
As well as the emotional support as well.
Yes, there's mental health supports. We help guys, like we say, find an AA group, or, we don't want to reinvent all of the resources because we don't need to. We definitely coordinate with lots of other organizations in the community, and we help guys find those resources. But we'll help them apply for EIA if they need. We'll help them prepare a resume. We'll help them go to a job interview. We'll help them with a medical appointment. It could be so many different things, but the whole key is don't get overwhelmed, because when you get overwhelmed, life gets heavy. And then sometimes our choices aren't the best. And so if you can tell someone, I'm struggling, how can we help you? What can we do to make you not struggle? How can we make life not overwhelming, right? And Mike and I have known each other for years and years and years. And if he seems down, or I can say, what's going on? What's happening? Right? Because I know it well.
She knows right off the hop.
So
the facial expression.
Even sometimes the way he answers me in a text, I can tell.
You can
not
sense
right.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, you can
But
sense
we've built
it.
a relationship. So then he can say, I'm just kind of feeling whatever, and we can talk about it and hopefully come up with a solution together, So that's part of that, but it all starts with relationship. It really does. Yeah. It's most important.
It is real easy when you get overwhelmed. You just say, well, back there, I get 3 squares a day. I got a roof over my head. You know what I mean? Place to sleep. They leave me alone. I can sleep all day. It's an easy way out. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
No.
But coming out here, it's tough, but it is doable. As long as you stay focused, and use your resources, that's extremely important. And next up is my life plan.
Yes. I always want to add something.
I mentioned accompaniment earlier, and for the first 15 years, I guess, I lived an hour out of the city here, and but I would be in touch and with the guy who I was accompanying, and he'd call me and say, "Are you coming to the city soon?" And I'd have business in the city, and we'd have coffee. So we're going to have coffee, and they just needed to talk about the issues, and
Sometimes they are not that much of, they don't have that much of courage or confidence to speak
but
out,
once,
right?
and once you know each other, and one fact that is interesting, I think, to some people is that sometimes they would need a little bit of financial help. Maybe they want to take a course, or they want to buy a vehicle, and I was able to help them that way. And it's been amazing to me, and we didn't write a contract. I trusted them. And I think that because I trusted them, they wanted to be, and they were good about paying me back. And they gave me a few dollars here and there along the way, and they kept track of it. And I've been surprised by that. All I was asking was that they put a good effort in it,
Absolutely.
But I think it motivated them, that I trusted them to, by helping them that way. And anyway, it's been an interesting experience for me, and like I said, it's been rewarding too.
Okay, so before we move forward with our same question regarding your support and services, may I know whose idea of this future hope? Because anyone who idea of the future hope to support and rebuild the community, it is just awesome. It is the like I can say, the live example of humanity. Like you are thinking about the other people as well.
Yeah.
So, do you have any example to share that, like somebody coming out of prison and you help them, and now he's a good citizen of the community?
There's a few of them.
Yeah, we have quite a few stories.
One of the fellows that I had helped, to whom I'd lent some money, and he was good about. Sometimes he'd put $20 in an envelope or $50 or something, and then we came to the using electronic transfers, you know.
Yeah.
So here I get $100 and $200 and $500 one time, and I say, "John, did you rob a bank? What's going on?" You know, and what happened is that he happened to have a gift, you know, like it reminded me of the movie Rain Man, if you remember that. A guy was autistic.
I'm very bad at the movies.
Yeah, the guy was autistic.
So
And he'd gone to Las Vegas and they kicked him out because he remembered all the cards that had been
Oh
played.
yeah.
Anyway, John caught on to bitcoins.
The cryptocurrency.
Oh.
Yes. And he just hit it on the ascends. You know, the values kept going up and up and up, and he'd invested a little bit of money in that, and he was really being rewarded, and I always told the guys, you know, you keep track of it. And one day he said, "I've paid you all out now." And he had paid his alimony for a few months ahead and that sort of thing. So I've always remembered that. I found that to be very interesting. This guy had a gift to deal with bitcoins, the Bitcoin currency.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And anyway.
No, absolutely. So, is there any specification when you are actually coming out of prison? Do you have to follow some rules and regulation for some month?
Oh, yes.
For some people, a lot more than a few months. Yeah.
Ah,
Like me.
in what crime you did?
Exactly.
Oh.
I'll be reporting to my parole officer for the rest of my life.
Ah,
Yeah, it's different for everybody, of course. It depends on how much time you're doing, whether you're doing a numbered sentence or a life sentence. There's a big difference. Yeah. But yeah, when you come out, you don't, right now, you cannot walk out of prison without a correctional plan. In other words, a new parole officer you see within an hour of being released, and then you discuss your correctional plan. What you're going to do. You know, whether you're an alcoholic, an addict, or both.
okay.
Well, in my case, I'm I'm an addict and an alcoholic. I've been clean, absolutely clean from everything since February 10th, 2024, when I was released. I haven't touched a thing.
That's awesome.
So, you had an experience behind the bars.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
In front of the camera, may I ask you,
You can ask me anything you want.
are you comfortable? That's only I can ask because I want.
Am I comfortable
not-
talking about this? Absolutely. I have, you know, it's my life,
Absolutely.
you know, and
Yes.
I did probably just over 40 years.
Are you in behind the bars 40 years?
Yes, on and off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, being a drug addict, when you get released, sometimes life does get hard, especially when you do 25 years. I went back a few times. I've struggled, don't get me wrong.
Oh, no.
You know, and it came down to me being obviously arrogant and thinking that I could do it myself. Well, 99.9% chance you can't do it yourself. You know?
Yeah.
And I've thrown everything I got. Like right now, my list of my life goes my sobriety, my job. I love my job and I got a good job. You know, next step, AA, And all those things keep me grounded because there's nowhere that I can't get a hold of somebody, talk to somebody, go to a group, go to a meeting where I can't share what's going on in my life. And that's, with next step, I talk to him every day, and sometimes he doesn't even answer me.
Now,
Right? But it's important to have those kind of things out there.
Now I can feel it, like after actually completing 40 years in behind the bars in jail, that you experience all that things with you. And that's the reason you can you understand another person feeling, emotion, why they are struggling, right? And you exactly know at what point they need a support.
Yep.
In terms of money, in terms of family, community,
Yeah.
right?
It's important to share what's going on in your life and what's going on inside because a lot of people have trauma in their life, childhood trauma, whatever the case may be. But, you just need to be able to talk. And it's, being in jail and you don't talk about things like that because people don't want to hear it for one. You know what I mean? And they think, oh, I'm going to be a wuss if I talk about this. You know what I mean? If I open up and show my feelings, right? You know what I mean? And that's why it's imperative, that the next step is so important in my life in regards to I get to share what's going on with you without keeping it in and not being judged by the other people in the room. Because they all have similar issues.
Right.
And you keep it bottled in, it explodes. Because then the guilt, shame, and everything kicks in. I have guilt, I have shame for what I did.
Yep.
But I talk about it.
Yep.
And that lessens it.
Absolutely.
And then I'm not keeping it in and it just explodes. And then I'm, I feel ashamed of myself. I think,
Realization is the most important thing. I can say that. Yeah. Because when you did any mistake or crime, that time maybe you are not in your senses. Maybe you are thinking something else, right?
Yeah.
Or you don't know about each and everything, what will be the outcome. But after gone through all this, then you have a regret. I did something wrong. But you have a realization and now you are living such a good life. You are supporting that individual. Hats off to you.
Thank you. And I took the weekend off.
Yeah.
Because she usually says, I said, oh, you're working tomorrow? No. Oh, good, yay. Because I usually work 6-7 days a week. I love my job.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So, but when I take a day off or the weekend off, she's ecstatic. She's a lot happier than me. But
I always tell them about balance.
Oh, yeah.
that's it. Because then you turn into, have an addictive personality. Therefore, you turn into a workaholic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I was released, they said, the parole board, it was mentioned my work, and they said that's not an issue. But I can't work nights or weekends or overtime. They originally said that you can work Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day. That's it. No discussion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And it took me months to get that changed. For people, I couldn't work nights, but now I have free reign because when I start getting overly tired, I recognize that, and she'll kick me if I don't recognize it. And so now I'm enjoying the weekend. I'm probably going to go fishing tomorrow.
Oh, that's nice. You like fishing?
I love fishing, but I haven't went out.
Vegetarian.
Yeah,
Right?
Yes.
fishing.
I like fishing,
Yeah.
but I did not eat. So I don't know what it tastes like.
She likes eating the fish. She doesn't like
I
fish.
love the fish. It's so good. Yeah.
Nice. So, Kim, do you have any real example?
Yeah, I was just thinking about, some things. Mike mentioned sobriety, and, we certainly, when I see guys succeeding in staying sober and the pride that they have that comes with feeling that they can have some more control over the addictions that they've had in their life. To me, that's huge to see that and to know that we're helping men in that area. I think another thing, there was one example, there was a fellow who he had been incarcerated quite a long time and previous to his incarceration, had not really had any legitimate work. All the money that he'd made before was from selling drugs. And so when he got out and got his first real paycheck, and it was, I can't remember, it was like $400 or $500, but it was like, he was so excited because it was the first time in his life he had made legitimate money.
Legitimate money.
Legitimate money.
Exactly.
And he was so proud of himself. And I was like, exactly, right? And it was such a great thing to see. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this sucks. I only, it was like, look at, this is my money. I earned it. I like, so things like that. And we've had guys in our community who have gone back and finished their grade 12, who maybe hadn't finished school before, who have gone on to university and college, and gotten careers that they've dreamed of, never knew that they could accomplish, but with people cheering them on and thinking like, you can do this, and them having that courage to try it.
It is very necessary.
Yeah, we have guys that do that. We've got fellows that have bought their own homes, that have moved into their own apartments. So just, I mean, yeah, like we said, there's just so many, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be that big, it really doesn't. Like sometimes it's literally just, I handled a situation today that before I would have gotten so angry at, and I would have reacted poorly. But when it happened to me today, that's not how I reacted, and a guy will text me or phone me and say, this is how I handled it today. And I'll be like, yeah, you did it. Like you remembered, you paused, you stopped yourself, you changed the pattern that you were used to behaving a certain way or reacting a certain way, and you stopped yourself from doing it. Right. So, or even just guys who can admit, like, I'm depressed. I'm sad today. I need to talk to you. Like, just things like that. They might seem small, but they're massive in terms of people's recovery and staying in community. So, and again, right, we're all human beings. If two human beings can talk, and we say I firmly believe people deserve more than one opportunity, more than one chance. When I see guys who say, I've taken from the community, and whatever that means, it could mean that they've been involved in robberies or different things and harm of the community of any way. And they say, my goal is to give back to community in order to, you can't fix what happened before. You can't change the past. None of that is possible. But going forward, you can make a difference. You can do better going forward. You can help community. You can share something you've learned, help the next guy, right? Like, so all of that to me is just massive success. And it's not always success. Yeah. People struggle, but we also know that if you struggle, hopefully you've learned something while you struggled, and then you try again. You don't just give up. You try again, and we'll still be there to help you when you try again. So
do you also take a support of emotional well-being as well?
I think so. I mean, I'm no psychiatrist, psychologist, nothing like that, but I do like to listen to people talk and just share what they're thinking. And so if even just listening, or if my experience with one person can help the next person, or because I can say, and maybe I'm thinking about Mike, and I can think, this worked when he did this. So I might not say, it was Mike. I might just say, another fellow I know, he tried this or did this. And maybe that can be helpful to the next guy, right? So you just never know. But sometimes, honestly, just listening can make a massive difference, or showing a new resource to somebody,
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I don't know who is going to answer this question, Mike, Kim, or Louis, because you guys are working with a team, with individual people, right, who are actually coming out of prison. Did they share with you any difficulties over there they face? Because what I heard about the prison, not every people is the same, right? Some people are very good with you. Some people are very nasty with you. And so, do you have anything to say about this?
I've always been quite comfortable in visiting the prison, and I know that a lot of their groups, and very often connected to churches, and they will come in groups, and the circumstances were such that I was alone. I visited alone, and I went to a church service, and then we would stay after for coffee with the fellows who chose to stay there after the service. And one thing I might say is that there are not very many volunteers who would come to meet the inmates on such a basis, but and I didn't really know what I was getting into. In my life, I always liked to take on challenges. I worked for myself all my life in different areas,
Yeah.
in business areas, and I like to challenge. And once I sold the main business I had, I wanted to do volunteer work. I wanted to give back.
Absolutely.
It was part of our family, perhaps, to do that, to do volunteer work. And so I took that up because a friend of mine had talked to me about that many years before. And it's like he planted a seed in my mind about that. And after I had time, then I decided I would try that. And so it was an hour for me to drive to the prison. And I tried to do that at least once a month. Mm-hmm. And but I was amazed that I always had a warm feeling in my heart driving home after, because I think there was not a time when one of the guys didn't say, "Thank you for coming."
Yeah. Right.
And that was rewarding to me, because maybe I made a little bit of difference. I made that guy a little happy that day that somebody took the time to come and have coffee with him. So that was my experience. I don't know how it fits into your question. But,
Yes, absolutely fits my question, and I think Kim wants to elaborate,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's fair. I said, again, I started similarly to Louis, volunteering and going to just visit people. That's how I got involved with Future Hope originally. And very much so, people were always appreciative, because in some guys' words, they would say just to visit with a person who was from the community, and not to just see the same people every day and the guys that they maybe were sharing space with or living with. So it was always nice to talk to a volunteer who was coming from the community. So that kind of brightened their day. But certainly you asked about people being inside, and obviously I've never lived there, but have listened to many people talk about the things that they've gone through while spending their time while incarcerated. And there's lots and lots of very difficult stories to listen to of how they were treated, things that they were faced with. So it's challenging for them to share it, and sometimes challenging to hear it, knowing that, again, sometimes people don't treat each other with dignity or care. And, for me, that's so important about how we treat people with compassion. And so sometimes it's just hard to hear and know that people, sort of intellectually, that doesn't always happen. But then when you hear it from a person you know and care about, and you think that they've seen something or experienced something or been hurt in some capacity, it just brings it much closer, because you have a relationship with that person. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you have something to say on that?
Yeah.
About inside.
You
About
actually
inside,
lived there, right?
But on
40
my side,
years.
but again, like society, there's nasty people everywhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, things get on people's nerves a lot quicker and a lot faster when you're on a range and you're locked down for, 8 hours a day. And then you got range exercise or something, right? Volunteers coming in are always safe.
Oh, yeah.
Always safe.
Yes.
In prison. I don't care what prison, Like you can tell there's a group coming up, because everybody's showering, shaving, and doing their hair, right?
Looking good.
Well, yeah, because they got somewhere to go. They got something to look forward to.
So nice feeling, what? Like somebody's coming from outside to just see you.
Feels good.
Yeah, feels so good, right? And they just not coming, they feel you like you are also the part of the community.
Yes.
It's okay, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? You are already judging with your mistakes, right? So it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the chaplain, of course, noticed that there's somebody new the first time I went. And he gave me a couple of names of people who I should contact, you know. And one of the names was Sister Carol. and gave me her phone number, so I called her. I'd never met her before. And we met at Tim Hortons on Sherbrooke the first time, and she came in for some reason. I knew that must be her, and the rest is history, as they say. But
Wow.
yeah,
So nice.
It's been a very rewarding experience for
Yes.
me to do that, and
Absolutely.
it continues to be.
Yeah. So while you are telling me all this story, I actually took it from there. This is a Future Hope team card. If you can see on the camera, I'm going to share with you after this podcast. You can just go to the description and you can see all these details. So in that, you can see their email ID, their address, their website as well, right? And every single information is this. Okay, so we all know Future Hope is a non-profit organization, right? So how can our community, especially Canadian government, individual people, or any community people can help Future Hope?
I think that and I always tell people go to our website. You'll find a lot of information how to donate, for instance, how to become a volunteer, and talks about our activities, of course. And that's certainly one way that I find useful for people who show an interest in Future Hope. They find out more about our mission, about Next Step, of course, which is the key element in Future Hope.
Yes.
I was going to say too, one of the, again, just exactly that. And I think some of our hopes for our future is to, obviously we work with a lot of people, and it'd be great to keep working with as many as possible. And one of the ways is, and one of the biggest needs out there is housing. And so, housing provides stability for people.
Oh, yes.
And at Future Hope, we do have some homes and places for people to reside.
Yeah.
And they can come to us. It's transitional living, and Mike's living with us in that capacity. And it's kind of the next step in quotations of, you know, you come from where you're living in corrections in the halfway house, you come and live with us in transitional living, and then you stay with us for a year or two, and then we help you find that next step, which could be, you know, your own apartment or whatever that looks like. But there's always a need for housing. And because when people don't have stable housing, it is one of the stumbling blocks for people in any capacity, but specifically, and sometimes when you're coming out of prison, you don't have rental history. You haven't rented for a long time or ever. Maybe you are just new to your job, and so you don't have a long history of employment. And so for guys to rent an apartment, or it's very challenging. And because there's so few apartments for the amount of people that need housing, it's very easy for our guys to get turned down, and they don't get chosen to live in that apartment. They'll pick someone else first. And so the housing that we are offering, I think is really paramount. And I hope that we can do more of that for guys in the future. So that's, and again, we continue to fundraise, we continue to advocate, we continue to share our stories. And it's just, hopefully keeping people interested in recognizing, again, you said it, Mike said it, right? The men that we're supporting are our family. They're our friends. They're our coworkers. They're our community. And so, we want people to do well, right?
Yes,
in order to be healthy citizens, right?
Oh,
So-
yes, right.
I'm 63 years old, and I've never paid rent in my life until I got out this time. This is the first time I've ever paid rent.
Remember that day? You're like, I e-transferred you. I've never paid rent before. He was like cheering in the kitchen. It was so fun.
Yeah, some days are over.
My reference is
Hey, but I've also gotten friends of mine that I work with, the secretaries at the company I work for and stuff. They've donated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Furniture and
Like
yeah.
furniture and stuff, right? And I get, my company is an excellent company,
Yeah.
and he lets me use the truck to go pick it up. You know what I mean? And then we store it, and then when guys move into Coyote House or Massey House or Olno, and when they get their own place, we got furniture if they need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And we
absolutely.
stockpile it and we keep it for them, right? It's to help guys, so instead of just walking into an empty apartment, there's a table, there's a kitchen table, there's sofas, there's chairs.
It's cool.
You know, it's all, that's important because then,
Yes.
and I'm just renting a room right now. And I walked in for the first time and I'm thinking, this is mine. This is nuts. Because like I said, I've never paid room, but this room is for now, right? Until I transition out and get my own place. And couldn't be happier.
That absolutely, absolutely. So Future Hope also accept donations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yes.
And again, on our website, there's a phone number, or there's a donation way that you can donate, or a phone number you can call, and we can answer kind of any questions that you have, and kind of go
You
from
get
there.
a tax receipt as well.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because, yeah,
We're
that's
reg-
very
we're
point we noted.
registered.
Charity.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
exactly.
My involvement in Future Hope has shown me that I'm the life that I have is not because necessarily that I'm smart, but I'm lucky, because I realized that if I would have had the same upbringing or the opportunities of most of the guys who are in prison today, I would be there also.
Yeah.
It's a cause that is well worth supporting. It's not the most popular, but I would like to, I hope that people find out more about the kind of project that we have here and help us in any way that they can.
Definitely, Luis. And knock on the wood, after this podcast will live, I hope people will reach out to you guys directly and help, or some accept, like give some donation, because you guys are doing such an amazing job. As you can just say that the person could be anyone, right?
Yeah.
So, and sometimes if any crime happen, not it is eligible for the everyone, but some crime is like a self-defense, right? Or they just don't realize what they are actually doing. I ask my viewers as well, if you are seeing this podcast, if you are in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, watch this episode and spread the awareness, because this Future Hope team is doing an amazing job to help our community, to grow our community and help individuals. Before we wrap up this podcast, I have one question for three of you. Anyone can answer. So, one simple message to your Future Hope viewers, or my viewers, okay, or those who are will watch this podcast, okay, our Canadian people. So, do you have anything for them?
I think that, we're very grateful to our current people that do support us. We have some great supporters, volunteers, a great board, and truly it's an honor to support the men that we do and to walk this journey with them. So that's certainly how I feel. And I think that it's important for people to know that people do change, people can change, and people have the right to change. And with supports and care and compassion, people do change. We see it every day.
Oh, yeah.
We see it every day. And so, as I said, it is an incredible honor. And realistically, as Louis mentioned earlier, it costs a tremendous amount of money to incarcerate a person. And so there's so many better ways that we could be doing support in the community to keep people in community doing well and being, productive and caring citizens of Canada. And so I think people have that right. And we want to be there to help them with that. So
absolutely. Everyone have their own right to live without any judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
people have been judged enough.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's your message?
Oh, we accept all donations. Please give them.
Thanks, Mike.
No, absolutely. People will love your work. They are already loving your work, but they will love you more after all this conversation.
Yes.
One single message to the Canadian government.
I already forgot what I was going to say to the Canadian government. What was I saying?
I think that we have a job to do, and we've undertaken that now to carry our message forward. To them, we hope to meet with our member of parliament soon, and we'll go from there. But I simply think that not enough people in government know that, like I said earlier, we're not asking them for money. We want to save them money.
Yeah.
In terms of them helping us a little bit, it will have great dividends for them.
Yeah. Right.
So we need to explain that to them.
Yes, absolutely. And once again, that's a really good job. Thank you so much to coming my On Air with Priyanka show and share your inspirational journey, your advice, your request to our government, to our community people. You guys are doing amazing job. And Mike, hats off to you. You are a brave man.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
And thank you so much once again. And I hope that this Future Hope will rebuild the lives more than we think. So, Future Hope team, as I already said, thank you so much. Do you have a couple of words for me and my podcast channel?
Yeah, no, we feel great. And thank you so much for having us. It's quite a privilege and an honor to sit here with you today and to know that you're working so hard to bring stories and share inspirational things to the community, to new Canadians, to people who are just maybe arriving in Canada.
Immigrants.
Yeah, new Canadians wanting to know more about our country and the things that are going on. So I think that they should really all be watching what you're doing and sharing your podcasts and sharing them with their friends and family and hearing more about all the inspirational things that you're bringing to the community. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much for the beautiful words, Kim. And yes, so my viewers, if you heard the Kim voice, please follow my channel. And to my viewers, if you really like this podcast, because in my every podcast, I bring the stories, real stories for you guys. This story is little bit different because I'm actually sitting with a Future Hope team. As I said these guys are doing an amazing job and they just need a support and some little bit of donation from you guys, okay, to help our community. So please take care and spread awareness. And we will meet for the next episode. Until then, take care and bye.